one of the big focuses of iOS 9 was battery life. Now, on the iPhone 6 Plus, like I have here, battery life was never terrible, but if you had a phone smaller than this, such as the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 5S or any of the phones before this, you know that battery life on an iPhone has never been great. Well, thankfully, that is one of the big focuses of iOS 9. Actually, Apple's webpage has a whole section on battery life, explaining that without doing anything, you should at least get one whole additional hour of time before needing to charge again without doing anything on your part. But these are two new features in iOS 9 that just extend upon that. One of those is low power mode, which can be found in settings. Just start up at the top. Battery, low power mode. Now, low power mode does a few things. It reduces your background app activity, stops all background downloads that you may not have started by yourself, but maybe apps have asked to start. It turns down visual effects and the motion gyroscope stuff on your wallpaper and stuff like that. And flips some background switches that you probably wouldn't know or even have access to, just to save you as much battery life as possible. And it does a pretty good job. And when you flip it on, you'll notice that the battery icon turns yellow. That's just to tell you that you are in low power mode, which is useful. That way you always are aware, and that's even on the lock screen. It's still yellow. And low power mode is something that you can set from settings at any time. You can also ask Siri to do it. I'll disable it real quick to show you that. So at any time you can ask Siri, enable low power mode.
Okay, I turned on low power mode.
And so that's a quick and easy way to get to it without having to dive into settings. Siri is much faster in iOS 9, by the way, so that's completely possible. You can also flip it off or back on. Tapping on that takes you into the settings panel, and this also has a lot of information about what apps are using the most battery. But that also works this way. I can say disable low power mode.
Okay, I turned off low power mode.
And she'll disable it. Another cool new battery feature in iOS 9 is in the notification center you can now see the battery life of your phone, and if you have an Apple Watch, your Apple Watch, which is really cool. I do wish it would go both ways. On the watch, here I'll bring that up real quick. On the watch you can bring up the power glance. I have no idea how that was there. That was just a coincidence. I thought I was going to have to be searching for that glance. But you can see the 66% battery on the watch. However, you can't see the battery life of your phone, which I think would be kind of useful. But you can see 66% right there. It may sound useless to have the iPhone's battery percentage here because you can't just have it in the notification center. But I do really have to say I do enjoy the clean look of not having the battery percentage there. Not only that, does it keep your status bar clean, it makes me worry less about the battery life. Whereas before I was constantly checking, my phone would be locked and I just constantly would press the power button to check the battery life, which really, when you think about it, just uses more battery to turn on the screen. Now, I guess people could still be turning on their phone to check their battery life in the notification center, but it's been another step that I didn't have to take, so now I don't have to worry. Now I don't worry as much, I should say, about my battery life, and I'm not checking as often, so that's nice. So diving back into the settings here, in the battery settings, battery usage is really cool, showing you, what apps you use the most. Obviously YouTube, Twitter, music have been my most used apps for today, but you can also sort it by a weekly basis. You can see for the most part I'm mostly using my Messages and Twitter app, and YouTube and Snapchat come in a close second. But for today, this is what's been using my battery, and that's really cool to see. If you tap this little clock icon, you can actually see how many hours of screen on time each app used. So you can see that I've been on Twitter for 1.2 hours of today, and it's been running in the background for 6 minutes, and that's not really that long. Music, you can actually see that I've only had 12 minutes screen on time and 3.1 hours in the background, which would be just playing music while doing other things. Messages, 1 minute background. Home and lock screen is just on the screen. That's not going to be running in the background. But that works for 7 days too. You can see that I've used Messages. I've had Messages on my screen for 13.7 hours in the past 7 days, and I think that's pretty cool. You can see Twitter is a close second. I'm surprised it's not more, actually. YouTube and Snapchat, you can see the times, and that's pretty cool. YouTube has 40 minutes in the background, which is a little ridiculous because you can't play videos in the background. So I'm not sure what YouTube is doing in the background there, but you're using up precious battery, YouTube. Calm down. I accidentally showed that too. If you just tap anywhere, it's the same as tapping that clock up there, so it doesn't matter where you tap, you can see that extra information. That's pretty cool. So thanks for watching this short little video. I just wanted to show some of the cool new things Apple's done with battery life in iOS 9 that I hope everyone can learn to appreciate. Even if you don't know about them, really, you can appreciate some of the new features. Low power mode, if you get down to 20%, it'll actually automatically ask you if you want to enter low power mode, which is really cool in my opinion. That way people that don't even know that you can go into settings and battery and get to low power mode or ask Siri or whatever, they can still take advantage of it once you get to a low battery amount and when you actually need it. Anyway, thanks for watching this short little video. I just wanted to show some of the new battery stuff in iOS 9. I hope you appreciated it, and hope you enjoyed. Bye. Hey Siri, disable low power mode.
I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Well, this is interesting. Alright. She can't allow that to happen.